hello, everybody. Coming for you from the podcast studio over here at Collider. And what's wrong?
Where do we look? I'm excited to talk about this movie.
You won't do the headphones?
No, not for this. This is a Schmoes production.
And
I want my ears to feel
a
nice chill in the air, which is what a lot of people had when they heard, oh no, Bumblebee. Now he's getting his own movie. Right. What's going to happen? But the director, Travis Knight, he comes from Kubo, the Two Strings. Yep. There's some good buzz around this movie. We finally got to check it out.
We checked it out.
That first scene, best movie of the year.
You know, like, for me, how much. The funny thing is, even before we were Schmoes, you and I went and saw the first Transformers together.
Because you and I were both huge fans of it as kids.
Big fans. So when we'd gone, I remember we were talking about it and getting so hyped up. We did the Comedy Store together. We were so hyped up and in La Jolla. Yeah. And we were hyped up. We
remember
back.
driving with you.
Me, you, and Ari Shafir. Yeah. We went and we go and we see the first movie and we sit down and I went, and then it just got worse.
Just continued to devolve into this mess of bad humor and confusing fight scenes and effects and no real story to glom onto, not enough robots.
Yeah, and that's set up because that's a lot for Travis Knight to come back for. Like, the question is, was Michael Bay, had he kind of served his time? And here comes Travis Knight, because the last Transformers movie it started to decline.
Here in the States,
So for me, as a Transformers hardcore junkie, I'm waiting. I'm like, how are you going to start this up?
What are we gonna do?
Boy, did he ever!
This movie takes place
Cybertron.
I'm not
gonna spoil it.
Yeah,
Cybertron.
Because it was a weird thing that happened in the theater where Kristian and I, sometimes we're on the same page, sometimes we're not. But this movie started and we both leaned forward in our seats.
We could have held hands.
We were it was so cool to have that moment that we get a few times throughout this movie. Yeah. And once our action really takes place, it's a girl and her dog story of Haley Steinfeld.
Iron Giant. It's E.T.
Yeah.
It's all of that.
Finds this version of Bumblebee that has been sent to Earth that you'll find out in the movie, and Bumblebee it's not on his it's not his best days, and she is kind of feeling like she's a bit of an outcast in her time in high school herself, and so she's
had a tragedy in her life.
Outcasts coming together. I felt all of the emotions in the story, and as much as I thought Aquaman was like a good family movie, and there's good family fare out there right now, Bumblebee, along with Spider-Verse, may be the best movie to take the entire family to see. Not because the kids are going to get entertained and the parents might get something out of it, because I think people can go and love this movie.
This movie achieves the fun that it wants to get from the beginning to end. It knows what it is from beginning to end. And the thing, even the beginning to where it starts off for hardcore fans, and it throws back and harkens, because the movie takes place in '87, but harkens back to the traditional cartoon and even the Transformers movie. It starts there.
It's an announcement.
It is an announcement, but it also lets you know we're not just doing this for effect. This means something. There's a reason why this is happening. And when you see it in the trailer, you see Optimus Prime, so it's not a spoiler.
It's a great call you make, because with this movie, you feel like because a lot of times with the Michael Bay movies, even with the action sequences, the effects are great, but it feels like we're just throwing money and we're spending money to spend money.
This looks cool.
They don't spend money to spend money here. They spend money with a purpose.
Yes, and the purpose is to get Bumblebee to Earth. And once he does, that really is the through line of the story. And Haley Steinfeld is an absolute star.
It's great.
She is so good in this movie. She is so good. And there's some stuff, and I'll tell you the stuff that doesn't work. And I think I'm a big John Cena fan. I think he's terrible in this movie. I think he's in a different movie. I think he's in a Michael Bay movie.
I was going to make the same point. Yeah, I mean, you see John Cena, it's like he's acting in Dark of the Moon or something like that. There's a couple times when I really like John Cena though, and oddly enough, it is the humor, because the humor in this movie,
line that hits.
There's a couple lines, and it translates so well in this movie, and it's like, this is the humor that you could have in Transformers. Now, I don't think this is a perfect movie. No. I think that there are some flaws in it, but most of it is superficial stuff where I don't need to get wrapped up in John Cena's storyline.
Right.
And so it's fine to have him as this character in this thing that feels a little out of place.
Right.
And look, I love any movie that takes place in the 80s and letting us know it's in the 80s.
They really hammer you over the head that
it's like every 2 seconds there's another 80s song, and it's like, we get it. We don't need all of this, but it's not a huge complaint that's going to leave me leaving with a scowl on my face.
This is hands down. It's not even a question. This is the best Transformers movie that has ever been made. Yep. It is easily the best. It goes back to nostalgia. Best live action. It hits nostalgia. It's got a great relationship. Emotionally, it works. There are moments that it goes for. There's sometimes the humor really fails. But I think that Travis Knight's humor is rightly placed. He's going for the right things. Oh, the other thing that should be mentioned is the Decepticons, the new Decepticons, voiced by Justin Theroux and Angela Bassett, are.
Oh yeah, I can never tell voices. I know.
I didn't know what I had to
ask,
yeah. But they are great. They are the ones that are hunting Bumblebee down. We didn't have to go to every classic character because it sets it up. I hope they continue down there.
Yeah.
Look, we can go on for this movie forever. I'm just going to tell you that I loved it. You go for the Haley Steinfeld and Bumblebee relationship. There's a side relationship that Haley Steinfeld has. I thought the kid was fine. Overall, this is the movie to watch for Steinfeld, Bumblebee, the classic Transformers feel, look. 4 out of 5.
I could launch a shared universe out of this, and we know that's what Hasbro wants to do. I hope they take it in the right direction. And maybe Travis Knight's the guy to step in and be the Michael Bay and say, look, this is where all these movies this is where the G.I. Joe movies should get in, and this is where Power Rangers and all this stuff, because he clearly has a love for this universe the way you and I do, and he wants to
He's a fan.
hopefully usher that going forward in addition to all the cool stuff he does with Leica. So
go see this movie.
I'm gonna go 4 out of 5 as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised to hear myself say it. I found myself smiling ear to ear for the bulk of this movie, and even the things that I didn't think were great or necessary in it did not hamper the film. You say John Cena's out of place, nobody else is. Everybody else.
Well, there's a doctor. There's a doctor that's out of place. The same.
I don't even remember the doctor, so I'm good to go.
Okay. Doctor's a little out of place.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
Why are you trying to ruin my score?
I'm sorry. Go see the movie, guys, because this movie is. If you're a Transformers fan, you're worried about the stuff from before. So was I, and I'm not anymore. So go check that out.
Comment. Let us know.
Let us know, and then right over there, that's stuff.
You don't know where you're pointing.
I don't know it at all, but I'm trying it. Somewhere over there are other reviews. We've got a ton of them. We're gonna have our best list up soon.
Yeah.
You can buy this sweatshirt, which is a Schmodown shirt. Just do it, and we'll see you later.
Thank you.